Welcome to this video, in which we will see how to export WooCommerce orders to Google Sheets. We will use the WP Sheet Editor plugin for WooCommerce orders and the Google Sheets sync service, provided by WPSheetEditor.com. This service works with all WP Sheet Editor spreadsheets and allows you to export and import content between your WordPress sites and your Google Sheets account. You can export and import custom fields added to your WooCommerce orders. First, let's see how to connect our WordPress site to our Google account, the Google API, and the WP Sheet Editor API. For this, we need to start by opening the WooCommerce order spreadsheet. Now we need to open the Google Sheets pop-up to connect our WordPress site to a Google account. We need to select the account we want to connect to. WP Sheet Editor will ask us for permissions to view, edit, create and delete only the specific files that are used with this application. To grant these permissions, we need to tick this checkbox and click on Continue. With these simple steps, we have connected our website to our Google account, the Google API, and the WP Sheet Editor API. Let's see how to export orders in recurring intervals. You can do normal or incremental recurring exports. First, let's create a normal recurring export. This type of export can be useful to export the orders periodically every a certain number of minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months. At each recurring interval, all rows will be exported to a new Google Sheet. Both the rows that were exported in the previous interval and the new rows added after that recurring interval will be included. Let's start by opening the export tool. In this example, we are going to export all fields and all orders. Here we need to select Google Sheets. And here we need to add a name for the scheduled export. Now we need to tick this checkbox so that we can select a future date and time when we want the export to run automatically. In this field, we need to add an email address to receive an email notifying us when the export process is complete. Since this is a recurring export, we need to select this option. In this example, we will export the orders every 5 minutes. Once the export is scheduled, we will see the details of the job in the Scheduled Exports pop-up. Using the Scheduled Exports pop-up, you can have full control of your scheduled jobs. You will see the details of this scheduled job, and if you click here, you will be able to see the log file of this job, to know what happens in each part of the process. Besides, you can manually run this export, as well as pause, cancel, and edit the job. You can also archive or delete the job. Now we just have to wait for our export to run automatically. When the export is run, you will receive an email with the details of the export and the link to open the generated Google Sheet. In order for us to see the differences between this recurring interval and the next one, let's apply some changes to the existing orders using the spreadsheet. For this example, we are going to change the status of all the orders to cancelled. Also, we are going to add a new order in the store. As you can see, we now have one more order in the spreadsheet, so the next recurring interval will export both the changes to the existing orders and the new order we have added. We have already received a new email with a new Google Sheet. As you can see, all the orders have been exported, and here we can locate the new order we just added in WordPress. We can corroborate this by looking at the status column. Also, all the other orders have the cancelled status, exactly as we changed it using the spreadsheet in WordPress. If you want a new Google Sheet every time a recurring interval is exported, the normal recurring export is a great option. Now let's see how to schedule incremental recurring exports. This means that at each recurring interval, the new orders will be added only, and a new Google Sheet will not be created at each recurring interval, but the Google Sheet generated at the first export will be updated. This is great if you want to use only one Google spreadsheet to manage your orders and you want that spreadsheet to be updated periodically, adding the new orders automatically, without affecting the data of the orders that were exported in the previous interval. To create an incremental export, let's open the Export tool. We are going to export all fields and all orders. We need to select Google Sheets and add a name for this incremental export. Then we need to tick this checkbox and select the date and time we want the recurring intervals to start exporting. Next, we need to add an email address to receive the notification when each recurring interval is exported. Now let's select this option and the recurrence in which we want the recurring intervals to be exported. Finally, let's tick this checkbox and click Export. This will schedule the incremental export to run at the selected date and time. Now that the export has been run, we can open the Google spreadsheet using the link we received in the email. As you can see, we have exported all the orders, and now we are going to add new orders to be automatically exported to this Google Sheet. Let's add 3 orders quickly. As we can see here, the new orders appear in the WooCommerce orders spreadsheet. Another thing we are going to do is edit the orders that already existed at the time of exporting the first recurring interval. This will help us to check that the previously exported orders are not updated, but only the new orders are added. We will change the status of all the orders to completed, and we will only leave the new orders with processing status. Now that the new recurring interval has been exported, we can open the spreadsheet using the link we received in the email. If you pay attention to the URL, you will see that it is exactly the same spreadsheet. And here you can see that the new orders have been added correctly, but the orders that were already exported in the first recurring interval were not edited. This type of incremental export is really useful if you want new orders to appear automatically and periodically in a Google Sheet that you share with your dispatch and shipping team. With the WooCommerce order spreadsheet and the Google Sheets sync service, you can automate the management of your WooCommerce orders with automatic and scheduled exports and imports. You can get the plugin and sign up to the service by following the links in the description of this video. If you need any assistance, you can contact us through the free live chat on our website.